All right, so we're going to use the Friendly Gnomes stamp set. So we're going to use this little cute guy here and the Love You sentiment. And then, of course, we're going to bring in the gnomes dies. So I've got some paper, excuse me, some papers here. And I've got a die on the floor. So I've got this is a 4 1/4 by 11 inch layer of thick basic white. It could be 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, however you like to make your card bases. I just had this in my drawer. And then I have a 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 inch layer of fresh freesia. And I have run that through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine with the Raindrops embossing folder. So I have those fun raindrops, but I'm actually going to turn it the other way so that it doesn't necessarily, not that I'm trying to have it be raining. So I'm just going to turn those the other way just to give it a little bit different look. Then I have a piece of the Designer Series paper. This is one of the items you can get for free from Celebration. This is the $100 item here, one of them, the Dandy Designs. And of course, I'm sure most of you, probably a lot of you already have this. And if you're like me, you love it and can't use it enough, which I literally can't use it enough because I want to use it on every single card that I make because it's so cute. So I used this. Here's the pattern that I chose. This is a 3 by 4. And I'm going to layer that onto a 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 inch layer of Petal Pink because it coordinates. Okay. So we've got that going for us so far. Then I have some die cuts already. So I have 2 of the mushroom caps in the fresh freesia. I have 2 little gnome noses in Petal Pink. I have a 3/4 by 1 1/4 inch strip of white, and I did cut a little gnome nose out of that. And then I have some gnome legs that I cut out of Petal Pink, and then I colored the leg pieces with my dark Petal Pink marker. I'm going to go over it one more time just because, make it a little bit darker, because I want to make sure that it's not, that it's going to show, that it's going to stand out. Whoops, I just bent your foot, little gnome. I'm so sorry. Okay, and then I also have this little gnome nose here, and I'm going to color that one with my light Petal Pink marker. Kind of make that a little bit more skin tone-ish, which I guess I could have used my skin tone blends, but I didn't think about it. So there we go. So now with my Baby Boss, I am going to bring in the little gnome hat. And where did the beard go? Well, oh, found it. I just couldn't get a hold of it. Okay, so then I have the beard here, and I'm going to do that out of white. And then I have the little gnome hat, which is going to be cut from the back side of this paper that I'm using on the front. So we're basically building a gnome. So I'm going to bring in the old Baby Boss in the beautiful boho blue. If you're wondering how to get this, if you're not a demonstrator but you want to be, then you can add it to your starter kit. So how I'm going to make my sandwich with this is I am going to have my plates staggered. Okay, so I'm going to have my base plate. Plate number 1 is ahead of my plate number 2. I am going to now add my dies and my paper. So, and I shouldn't need to tack them down with anything. They should work, since they don't have to be perfect. And now my second plate is going to go ahead of my first one. So I have like 2 pieces of bread on the outside and then a little piece of on the inside. Like a piece of bread, not bread, like cheese or something. So that when I try to send this into the machine to begin with, then it will grab onto it, okay? Hopefully my camera is focusing. I realize my hands are like in and out of all over the place. And sometimes the camera doesn't like that. So here's our little beard piece. And then we have our adorable hat, which has really fun, like embossed stitching lines. It's just so cute, honestly. Okay, I'm going to put those in the box so that I don't lose them. So we are going to make a little gnome whose legs wiggle back and forth, okay? I know, so cute. You're just gonna die. All right, so to start out with, first we're going to stamp our sentiments, which, like I said, is the Love You sentiment. So let me get that out of here. And let me get a block. And we're going to say love you, and we're going to say it in Fresh Freesia on this little piece right here. And almost back to the end there. And then I'm going to bring in my Happy Labels punch, which is our newest border punch, or not border punch, like end punch. And it's got kind of a ticket style here, and then a little tiny scallop. Actually, it's not a bundle. It's the gnome stamp set and the gnome dies. They're not sold as a bundle anymore. After the holiday catalog, they unbundle them. Okay, so I am, oh, whoops, I don't want to do that. I'm trying to do this one. So I'm trying to get that, and you know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to cheat. So I'm going to cut that off, and I'm going to add it to a handle, which is simply another little tiny piece of cardstock. And where's my, here it is. So I'm going to add a tiny bit of adhesive to the end there, and I am going to make it a little bit less sticky. And then I'm going to add my love you to the end of that. So this is, I have a handle now. So I can slide my love you into there. And I can punch it off so that I have a fun little border on the end of it. And I was able to get it in there. So we're going to end up adding that to the top. What happened to my paper? Oh, I must have cut this a little wonky. Hold, please. I need to trim that off. If you guys are interested in a little tabletop trimmer like this, this is like a little photo trimmer. Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell these anymore, and you can't earn them for free. You could a number of years ago to be a demonstrator. Anyway, I do have one linked in my description of this video, I think, that you can get off Amazon. So, all right, we are going to put our love you up there. Now we're going to do the assembly. Yes, Wendy says, I'm not a fan of gnomes. I didn't like the gnomes in the holiday catalog, you guys. I did not like them at all. I did not buy that bundle. I did not like it. This gnome set, it's so cute. I really do like it. Okay, so I'm going to add this with some dimensionals, but first I'm going to add my little sentiment piece here. And I'm going to add it about right here. So it's pretty close to the top. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing that we just did on that other card, where we're going to make ourselves a little loop out of ribbon. This is the Fresh Freesia Open Weave ribbon. And we are going to add that right next to our little sentiment strip here. Come on. Line up for me. And I'm going to use tape, of course, because that's how I roll. There we go. And we're going to add dimensionals. I keep using them and losing them. Okay. So we're going to center this on our little raindrop layer. There we go. And then we're going to add this. Actually, I'm going to use liquid glue because I have embossing on this. So I'm going to bring in some liquid glue here. And we're just going to scribble all over the whole thing. And then we're going to add it to the front. Okay. So now we're going to start with this. We're going to add our hat to the gnome. You can see there's a little like area here on his face, I guess, that kind of shows you where the hat can like settle into. There's like some little embossed lines in there to get that settled in nicely. And then we've got his little nose here that we colored with the light marker. That's going to go right there. Okay. And now here's the fun part. We are going to attach his legs to this little piece right here. Okay. So I'm going to add some glue to his legs. And then I'm going to add them to this little strip here. So this again was 3/4 of an inch by 1 1/4 inches. Okay. And then I just cut the nose out of it. So we want his legs to obviously be on the paper. And then we want the beard to cover up that little piece of white that I just used. So we're going to make sure that we get that on there correctly. Ooh, but you know what else I got to do? I need to add his arms. So these little mushroom caps are going to be like his little sleeves. Okay. So we're going to add a little sleeve here to the side of his beard and a little sleeve over here on the other side of his beard. So it kind of looks like a little sweater sleeve or something, I think. Okay. And oh goodness, that did not work. Like literally did not work at all. Did I not press hard enough? Okay, press hard. Then we're going to add those two little noses. We're going to add those to the end to look like little hands. So now we have a little gnome wearing perhaps a little sweater. I've got junk. Well, I'm going to have to get all those. They look like bits of glue. Okay, so back to the feet. So the feet are going to go about right here. He's going to go about right here. So I'm going to put a dimensional right in there. In this hole, make sure it's like straight. Okay. And then we're going to add him. So he needs some dimensionals too. So one there on his hat, and then I'm going to put one right above this little piece here. And then we're going to attach this. So we've got the feet, we've got the gnome, and then his little feet can like move back and forth. Now they don't like completely move on their own like all the time. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But how fun is that? So he's got little movable feet. All right, and I've got some little dots of glue here, so I'm going to use an adhesive eraser to get rid of those. And I have a special little bonus for you guys because I have another one of these exact same cards. Oh, I didn't finish the inside. Hold on. Made out of a different color, so you can sort of see different colors. Okay, now I'm not going to color this because if I color this, then it's going to bleed through to the back. And I don't want that to happen. So it says, love you. And then there he is on the inside with his fun little heart. So there is the outside with his little movable legs. And maybe if I would use a smaller dimensional, I don't know, they move around enough. I think if you shake it a little bit, tap it, you know, depending on what happens in the mail, it'll move. You know what? I wonder if I did, anyway. Okay, so here's my other one that I made using the same layout and the same, mostly same everything, just a different color. And his little feet move too. Aren't they just so cute? Oh my gosh. And then his little hands with his little sweater on. Oh my gosh. Anyway, those are my cards for the evening. I hope you guys liked them. Remember to give the video a thumbs up. I always appreciate that. And then if you need some classes to take in case you're bored, I've got a whole bunch of them. You can find links to them below in the description of this video, along with links to lots of other things. I've got a lot of different items in my Amazon store that you can check out if you are so inclined. Lots of little crafty items, and there's a few listed in the description of the video. Plus, then I have a link to my blog that has an entire list of tons of things that I use in my crafting and in my Stampin' Up! Business. On Amazon. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. I appreciate it very much.